Hi everyone, I hope you're having a great day. I normally just don't make these videos, but I felt like I needed to make this video because I know there's been a lot of questions about what I've written about on my blog on many platforms, and I've voiced this about Glenn Youngkin's education policy that targets LGBTQ plus kids, specifically trans people. And let me say that I voiced so many times how I felt about this, but I felt like just making it in a video to explain would help. So I can definitely say that policy, it's bullying at its best. I don't want to say that word, but it's bullying LGBTQ plus people for being their authentic selves, and that's not acceptable. It's just, a policy like the policy Glenn Youngkin passed on Friday, like last week. It's not going to make schools safe for LGBTQ plus kids. It doesn't make schools inclusive when you pass policies that target LGBTQ plus people. And I can say from somebody that lived in the state of that lived in a state that passed a bill called House Bill 2 in 2016 that targeted trans people. And I'm just going to say that at the time, living in a state that passed a law like HB2, it didn't make North Carolina an inclusive place. It didn't make spaces safe for LGBTQ plus people. And I can say this is that it just is not acceptable to target people that are different from you, or to hate people that have different views from you. Regardless, you may disagree with people on certain things, but it's never okay to pass policies that hurt them. And that's what this policy of what Glenn Youngkin is passing and what the Virginia Department of Education is passing that targets LGBTQ plus kids. It's not making those spaces safe for kids. And I strongly think it's just unacceptable and it's not okay. And I can't imagine how kids in Virginia who are in the LGBTQ plus community feel, and yet alone their families. And I can also say, about House Bill 2 in North Carolina, which is my state, luckily, in a sense, it got repealed in 2020, but still, we have a lot of work to do. And I just, felt like just making this video is very, very important. And so, with this being said, for those people that know Glenn and Suzanne Youngkin, that are family, friends, who know them, who went to school with their kids, if you haven't slept at night because of their behavior for the past 8 months since Glenn and Suzanne took office as governor and first lady, and you haven't felt good about their behavior in a way, if you haven't felt good about their behavior, if you have been questioning it, if it's kept you up at night, or it has affected you in some way, such as the policy, for example, the policy that they just passed that targets LGBTQ plus kids, and you don't feel good about it, I understand that it is uncomfortable and it's nerve-wracking to confront somebody people that are public figures. However, the silence about this, it's unacceptable. I'm going to also put it this way, is that I don't think it's Christian to hate people that are in the LGBTQ plus community. And it's not pro-life to hold an inaugural party that literally had no safety precautions towards COVID. The silence around what Glenn and Suzanne are doing, specifically when we're talking about this policy that targets LGBTQ plus kids, it's unacceptable. And I'm gonna say this, for those that know them and you're saying that you're scared, I understand that it's an awkward position to be in, as I said, but at the same time, it's unacceptable that you're being silent in this, and that and that what you should be more concerned about is not saying something and more people are getting hurt. And that's what this policy of what the Virginia Department of Education under the Youngkin administration is doing. They're literally passing policies to hurt people in order for the Youngkins to like get ahead in life, and that's not okay, and it's unacceptable. And so for those family and friends that know the Youngkins, and even their kids' friends that have and former classmates that went to school with them, if you haven't felt good about this, it's time for you to speak up and do the right thing. I know it's hard. I know it's not an easy position to be in, as I said, but what they're doing, that is just not okay. It's unacceptable, and it shouldn't have to take something like passing the policy, like what Glenn Youngkin is doing, for people to do the right thing. And so I'm saying this to Glenn and Suzanne's family and friends and people that know the Youngkins. You need to do the right thing and you need to speak up, because you should be very, very concerned about people getting hurt. And for those that are afraid, in the sense of, I'm afraid that I'm going to lose a friendship with Glenn and Suzanne if I speak up, that's not a good reason to not speak up. You need to speak up in the sense that that policy is hurting so many LGBTQ plus people. And to say this, for those in the LGBTQ plus community, I'm proudly standing by your side. You deserve to live in a place where you can be your authentic self, so without having to live in fear. And to say this, please vote.